when the war ends, where do you want to meet your Soviet allies? Warsaw? Kiev? Where do you want to greet them? What are you talking about in Europe that is important to us? What are we fighting for? Well, there was none of that. On the other hand, the Soviets knew exactly what they wanted. They wanted as much of Germany as they could capture because that's the scientific industrial complex. That's the human capital foundation for science and technology in Europe. That's what they wanted. They didn't get as much as they wanted, but they got about half of it. And then they were allowed to do pretty much whatever they wanted with the various populations, push their borders forward. What did we get from what we did? It's called a huge tax burden in the form of NATO and the Cold War. That's what we got. So there was no coherent strategy. The British used to walk into these meetings with us before, in 1942 and 43, 44. And this is without the Russians present. They would walk in and they had maps of the entire world where all the oil fields were, where all the copper mines were located, the gold mines. I mean, come on. These people were imperialists. They built an empire to become rich. They knew what they wanted to control when the war was over. They could tell you which harbors were sufficiently dredged to the point where they could accept giant freighters, giant cargo. We didn't do any of that. So what were we in the war to do? Well, destroy Germany, defeat Nazis. Great. Okay, we do that, then what? Nobody asked the question. We're in the same position now. So you want to save Israel. You want to make Israel great, greater than it's ever been. You want them